told you not to talk about it. They told you not to ask questions, not to notice what's really happening. But this isn't their channel. This is Triggered But Right. Hello everyone, this is Triggered But Right, Hard Truth's first episode. Okay, so this is essentially just a show about news for the week, because all of my other shows have been about just random topics that I find interesting with the videos, but now this is going to be my recap of the news for the week. And today I kind of just want to start out because I have been a little bit behind with the news. Not much has happened this week, so we're going to go a little bit back to stuff that happened last week. A lot of big stuff happened a couple weeks ago. A lot of big stuff happened. I mean, there was the ICE shooting, there was the Venezuelan takeover, as you want to say, and another thing that's just been going on for a while is, if you haven't heard, Grok's been having some child porn issues, basically, and yeah, I might get banned for saying that, but who cares? It is true. And I just want to start off with my opinion on that ICE shooting, because, as you know, Renee Good was shot couple weeks ago for what the right likes to say is trying to murder an ICE agent, and what the lefts like to say is for absolutely nothing, just an innocent person. But here's the thing about that whole affair is a big talking point that people like to make who defend her is that the ICE agent could have jumped out of the way. And the fact, the very essence, just the fact that you're saying that shows that she was doing something wrong, right? It's tragic. I'll never defend an innocent, I'm gonna say it, an innocent mother's killing. I mean, she had, I believe, 3 children, and that's terrible. I'll never defend that. But she did do something wrong. It's like if you walked up and slapped a bear, except your hand was 5 tons. And then you smack this bear and only hit it with the finger, and then the bear eats you, and everyone's like, well, the bear is just absolutely evil when you walk up and slapped it. I'm not gonna blame anyone in this situation. I will not blame anyone, because the problem is that she did drive away. She did drive away when law enforcement officers were telling her to get out of a car. And I'm sorry, you can't do that. And you don't deserve to die for it by any means. But that guy had been run over 6 months earlier. I think he got 30 stitches. He was dragged across the street 6 months earlier. And I know another argument is that he should not have had a weapon. He might have been traumatized from that event. And sure, whatever. But in that situation, it is a split-second decision. Maybe he made the wrong split-second decision. Maybe he should have just jumped out of the way. But the thing is, you can't blame him for that split-second decision. And then another thing that people really are just loving to say is that he swore at her afterwards. He pulled his mask up and said, "Effing bitch." He said it. Oh my gosh. And cool. I don't know what that adds to the argument. I can't even speak on that point because it adds nothing to the argument. I don't know why people are arguing, hey, he swore about her after it. Just talk about the actual event. Don't make that argument. That is a very weak and strange argument to be making. I don't know. But back to the original thing. Because just the fact that you were saying that he could have jumped out of the way shows she did something wrong. Because her girlfriend says to her, right, as we all know, drive, baby, drive. She drives off, nicks him with her car. He gets some internal bleeding. Oh yeah, that's another fact. He had some internal bleeding afterwards, but apparently he wasn't hurt because he just walked off. You know, if you get in a car wreck, like just a car wreck, and I know that this wasn't necessarily a car wreck, but if you get in a car wreck with someone, it could be hours before you're in shock. Just because he walked off doesn't mean he was fine. He did, by confirmed sources, have internal bleeding, like on the inside. That's not great. He was released from the hospital the same day, but still, he was hurt. I mean, like, the car obviously did something. The 5-ton hand hurt the bear. I mean, of course it would. Even if you just hit it with the finger, he's still hurt. And again, a tragedy that a mother died. I'll never defend that. But my point is, it was just an incredibly, like, senseless and stupid thing to do, especially with children. I just really don't understand it, because I know that they hate ICE officers. They have been violent in the past and whatever, but you still don't drive off. You just don't do that. Again, if there's a bear standing in front of you, you don't slap it, right? You don't do that. And now, as we know, that has led to basically riots. I don't ever want to see a news article titled ICE officer clashes, or not ICE officer, but protesters are clashing with ICE officers. I shouldn't read that. Protest all you want, but now, ever since that shooting, people have been getting violent with ICE officers, and it's been like ramping up and ramping up and ramping up, as we all know. And now there's like tear gas being shot into crowds, which I don't know what is up with that. I don't agree with that. But again, people need to stop poking bears. Like, you can protest. And then if there's ever an article that's like, ICE officer attacks innocent protester, I'll be cool. Like, that's awful. What? That's not okay. You're not allowed to do that. But people are walking up and basically just giving them reasons, giving people with guns reasons to hurt them. And again, don't hit the bear. I never understood. I'm going to keep using that metaphor over and over again, because you're not supposed to hit people that can kill you or hurt you. And I don't understand why now, like, the place where the shooting happened, Minnesota, a lot of the schools around the area where it happened are closed till February because they're afraid. They're afraid of what's going to happen with, like, the aftermath of the protesters and the ICE agents and all that. And it's just all around an awful situation. And that's what I have to say on that. Stupid thing that happened. Stop attacking ICE officers. Bad situation. And then when all this was going on, I opened my phone when I wake up, and Trump's like, yep, we got Venezuela. We got Maduro. That happened. That happened. They had drugs. Even though about less than 1% of the fentanyl is coming from Venezuela, and like almost an untraceable amount of cocaine is coming from Venezuela. So, or no, other way around. But yeah, it wasn't drugs. That is a cover story. I don't know what they're trying to do, and because they made that cover story, it really makes me question what they were actually trying to do, because you shouldn't have to be sneaky. Maduro was a bad guy. You want oil. That's fine. But don't lie to me about drugs coming in that aren't coming in. No. Like, it makes me not trust this operation at all. We were in Afghanistan for 20-something years. It collapsed in 2 days. And I don't care that some people are celebrating in Venezuela. That doesn't mean that this is going to be better than it was before. And a lot of those celebrations, by the way, if you look into it, some of them are in, like, Chile. Some of them are not in Venezuela. And I'm not saying that Maduro was a good guy. Obviously, awful. Like, he was basically a dictator. I'll say it. He was not a good dude. But the fact that you're like telling me that this is a perfect thing, like a lot of people on the right are like, oh, this is all good. It's been a good 3 days, and now it's a week and nothing bad has happened. And it's like, again, two days Afghanistan collapsed. I don't care that was under the Biden administration. That doesn't matter. 2 days. 2 days. So don't tell me that this is going to be some perfect operation where we just get oil and everyone's happy. Because a lot of the celebrations aren't there. Some people want Maduro back. I don't agree with that, but some people do want Maduro back. And You know dang well they're not showing us that. They are not showing us the people who want Maduro back. Because it's supposed to look like this grand thing. And again, I'm going to go back to this. The fact that they are telling us that drugs was the problem. And then they circle back and they're like, drugs isn't the problem. But why? Why? Why are you telling me that? Like, it's not true. So I don't want to be hearing from you that this is true. Just say you want oil. Honestly, just say you want oil. I do not care if you said that, but it makes me question you when you lie to me. And I will always question people lying to me. I just will. And then after that, this whole administration that was running on all this piece is like, yeah, by the way, Iran, so we just got Venezuela. We hear that you're protesting, right? Yeah, you're protesting. Help is on the way. And then just goes radio silent for 2 weeks or however long it's been. And I don't know what is up with that. Iran is in a bad situation. They have about I think the official number currently is about 5,000 protesters like killed. 5,000 protesters have been murdered over there. And I think it's more than that because the number just keeps ticking up. I mean, every time you check the news, it's like always a day behind or whatever. Tomorrow it could be 20,000, who knows? But they're in a bad situation. And stop being so vague with your stuff, Trump, please. Because you're like, help is on the way. It's on the way. And then again, as I said, went radio silent for 2 weeks. What are you doing? Just, I don't know. I don't know what's up with this. But Iran is in a very bad situation. That is what I have to say with that. I mean, they are in a serious pickle right now because they are, again, as I said, 5,000, that's a lot of people. Have you seen pictures of Iran before the Muslim revolution or Islam revolution? Have you seen pictures of it? Because it looks like a pretty normal city. Look up like before and after. Everyone there looks normal. They look happy. And then there's this weird takeover. That's what I'm going to call it, honestly. And now people are wearing these big black things and get killed if they take them off. And all rights are stripped from everybody. And now they're murdering protesters. So they're in a very bad position. I hope help is on the way. I hope that doesn't mean we're going to blow them up. Because seeing as this administration has pretty much ran on peace and love and whatever, stop bombing them. Don't bomb Syria. Yeah, they bombed Syria too. So don't. Just stop. You ran on peace. And now you're blowing stuff up. You're blowing up Iran. And I'm not saying that Iran doesn't need help. And I guess they haven't bombed Iran yet, but I have a feeling they're going to. I don't know why. I just think that big booms are about to start popping up, and I don't know. They're just in a terrible, terrible situation. But oh yeah, as I said, we bombed Syria. And I guess we've always been bombing Syria, but that happened. And again, as I always do, I'm looking at my phone. Oh, Minnesota, you have $9 billion of fraud. That's pretty cool, right? Isn't that cool? Minnesota, with your weird little Syrian daycares, isn't that cool? Yeah. I don't think so. That's another thing that's happened that we need to talk about. What is up with the fraud, and what is up with immediately after that Tim Walz dropping out of the government race when he's like, we're gonna do everything we can. We're gonna do everything we can against the fraud. And he's like, I'm dropping out of the government race. People figured out I was a part of the big weird Syrian fraud. Oh no, Nick Shirley. Oh, and that's been going on. And now they're studying 13 other states. So we're just in a big fraud pickle too. The United States is in a really weird place right now. It is in a very weird place. And then again, this has been going on for the past couple months. I opened my phone. Oh my gosh. Grok AI has been making child porn? What? Oh, what? And then you're like, and then you realize, if you look into it, you know what everyone, do you know what Elon did? I'll tell you what Elon did. Elon Musk, he canceled the child porn checker AI thing, whatever you want to call it. He canceled that for a cheaper version. Why are you surprised? Because that's been popping up on Twitter, and now Grok is making all these weird deepfakes of people, and he's not doing anything about it. He's just not. I mean, he really hasn't tried. He hasn't. He keeps talking, oh, there's literally zero instances of this. There's literally zero instances of this. Posting weird tweets about how, oh, this doesn't happen, just trying to, like, protect his butt when... Dude, yes, it does. You check any... I mean, I'm not currently on Twitter, but I've seen in just other instances on videos and whatever, you can look and you can see every time like some woman who's moderately attractive posts a picture, there's always like 1,000 guys. There's always like 1,000 guys in the bottom of the thing, like, Grok, take her clothes off. Grok, turn around. And you're telling me that there's literally zero instances? Just be quiet. Just shut up. I'm done with billionaires yapping and yapping and yapping about how, like, Google's motto was don't be evil. What are you talking about? I'm done with you people just yapping about how, oh, I've never done anything wrong. I just want money. I just want money. Just stop. Stop saying that. Stop. Just even admit you're wrong. Grok is also another weird thing about Grok is it's coded. If you ask Grok if it's done that and be like, hey, Grok, that's messed up, it's going to say to you, this is what it's probably going to say to you, because I've used Grok. It's going to say, oh, I did mess up. I'm sorry. So you can probably get Grok to admit to this stuff. And there's so many instances of CP just like going all over, just AI taking like little kids' clothes off, and then it's not getting taken down. They have to basically manually take it down because they got rid of the actual safety feature. And it's just really kind of disgusting. It is just nasty. I don't understand. And then Elon's always talking about, oh, you know, the birth rates, they're going down. Korea's not even, he's on the Rogan Experience, and he's like, Korea's not even going to be a place in 50 years. Let's make an AI that is completely unrestricted and people can talk to and people can essentially like just like have sex with. Let's just do that. That sounds really cool. And then what are you doing? What are you doing? You're doing nothing. You can't act like you care. You can't act like you care and then turn around and do this. You just can't. It's not good. You're canceling these things because you want money. They signed something with Elon where he might get 20% of Tesla's stock if he hits a certain goal. He might get 20% and he's going to become the first trillionaire. So don't tell me you care. I'm just going to end on don't tell me you care. It's disgusting. Even Zuckerberg going on podcasts, and he's like, oh, yeah, so the Biden administration came up to me and was like, hey, maybe ban a few people who are talking about how masks don't work. Pretty please. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he goes on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he's like, yeah, they pressured me. It was pretty bad. They pressured me. And they're all just in for money. Remember this. Billionaires do not have political opinions. They don't. They have political agendas. They will slide to whatever thing makes them money. And that is just true. You cannot dispute that. They are going to slide to whatever makes them money. It doesn't matter what it is, because as you can see, a lot of billionaires are turning to the right when there's a right-winged administration. And you know very well that they were at the left when there was a left-winged administration. So don't listen to these guys when they tell you, oh, Korea's birth rate is going down. Don't listen to them, because they don't care. They seriously don't care. They couldn't care less. Because, honestly, and I am for capitalism, definitely. And I don't think that you should restrict these people from making money. I just don't, because they create a lot of jobs and whatever. But remember, anyone who is worth that much is pretty much inherently, I don't want to say evil, but I kind of do. Anyone who's worth over $100 billion has made some pretty bad choices. Definitely. That is not disputable. They have made some terrible choices to make that much money, because all they care about is winning, all they care about is money, whatever. And maybe not a billion. You can see, I'm not saying all billionaires are evil. Maybe I did say that, but I'm not. Maybe all big business, hundreds of billions of dollars, they have done bad things. They have done terrible things. And again, that doesn't mean that you should restrict like how much money they can make. That don't believe in that, but just don't listen to them, because Elon is lying to you about his actually caring about the birth rates dropping. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Just be quiet. But that, and just to take a few steps back, the Minnesota fraud thing, I'm kind of excited to see those numbers come out, honestly, because I feel like it's honestly, we might have more than Elon Musk's worth in fraud in New York or whatever. That's gonna be very interesting. But thank you. This has been my first episode of my show. I hope to be doing this most Saturdays, most weekends. I'm going to try to get a decent schedule. I want to do it around 5 every day. This was my first, obviously. But this was, yeah, subscribe, have fun. I hope you listen to more of this. I hope you listen to more of these rants and whatnot, because it is very fun to do. I will continue making videos. I write on Substack, if you didn't know that, so you can check that out. And that is about all I have to say. Just remember, Google, don't be evil. Yeah, whatever. Shut up. You don't care. Remember, they don't care. So thank you. This has been fun. All right. Goodbye. Or goodbye.